Footage from the Uvalde school shooting was leaked yesterday. The surveillance video shows heavily armed officers in the hallway of the building waiting outside the classroom where the attack was taking place. They're actually down the hall. The footage was obtained by the Austin Statesman and reporter Tony Plahetsky.
The video shows gunman Salvador Ramos's way into the building and in the classroom where 19 students and 2 teachers were killed. The video then shows police entering the school 3 minutes after Ramos fired off on his first 2 classrooms. But you can see here that no one rushed the shooter himself. We want to play you the rest of this footage that shows police and Border Patrol alike waiting in the hallways. Officers finally rushed into the classroom and killed the gunman an hour and 14 minutes after police first arrived on the scene, the Statesman writes.
Following the release, the Uvalde mayor started berating the Statesman reporters, calling them chicken and unprofessional. Let's watch that.
This was wrong to do it this way. The video needed to be released, but the family should have got to see it first.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
The mayor said chicken. It was chicken.
Yeah.
To release that video the way you did it. That part of that video was not supposed to be in what they're doing on Sunday. That was not supposed to be there. They did that for ratings and they did that for money. And that's the only reason they put that out there.
What about the cops? Are they chicken?
We're gonna handle that.
He said that they did a good job. You still think they did a good job?
Adam, I'm not going to get into an argument with you on that deal. I haven't seen the video yet, but I can tell you that one of the officers you called, they got grace in that deal. In that video, he goes back down that hall 3 times trying to get in that room. 3 different times. I know what everybody thinks, and we need to let the investigation come through.
I mean, shut up.
Yeah. I want to, props to the journalist who was offering some pushback there. And it's really incredible that after watching a video like that, you would turn around and have a critique of the process of how the video came out and not your own officers who were...
Right, as if the thing people are going to be outraged about is that, oh no, the video's been released and it wasn't cleared with the families first. The families are outraged by what the police did.
Right.
Everyone is outraged by the police did.
Right.
We are trying to get to the bottom of it and understand it better. So the only reason the city governance there was getting upset was that it makes the police look even worse, as everything that comes out does.
And, let's talk for a second about what we really just saw. We saw, a dozen or so officers fully armed with all of the gear that one could imagine, standing in. They
eventually have the armor, that shield type thing.
Right, and the imagery of them in what is such a familiar sight. An elementary school hallway, brightly colored with the kind of art that you expect from the kids along the walls. And to see them all there, armed to the teeth, and to hear 4 more gunshots go off in the room where they know that there's a gunman with children. And to see them all continue to stand there and subsequently use hand sanitizer. I mean, I don't know how there's any coming back from that as a police department, and I really am curious about how people's public perception of the police are going to continue to morph as this becomes a dominant image of what police ineptitude looks like. This is an image that's repeated all across the country in one way or another, as police are called upon to protect communities, but ultimately do very little at any risk to themselves, but at great cost to our city governments.
Right. And again, the training is very clear. Like, yes, entering that classroom was going to come with a significant risk of getting shot for the police officers. But the training is for the police officers to do just that. The first guy who goes in, maybe he gets shot, maybe the next guy, and then maybe the third guy is able to fire on the shooter.
What is the
That's
thinking?
what they're supposed to do.
Right.
There were 20 of them. Go in.
And what's the alternative?
Right.
They're literally, you're hearing the consequence of you not going in every time a gunshot goes off inside of that room, where you know there are children who do not have guns, who do not have body armor, who do not have helmets, who do not have 18 men backing them up behind them, who do not have tactical gear, who do not have walkie-talkies, who do not have any flash blasts or anything like that, the kind of gear that you would expect.
Even when they are finally going in, there's one officer, if you look at the end of the footage, who's still being like, oh, hold on, wait, to like the back of it. No one's supposed to wait. Everyone is supposed to go in. That's what that's not my opinion of what they should have done. That is what the training dictates. The hand sanitizer is just such a kind of perfect little metaphor for the amount of caution being shown by the police officer. More concerned about like not spreading COVID or something in this situation where children are are bleeding out, are calling for help. Again, let's just recall, there are people in that room, many of them dead, some of them still alive, quietly trying to call the police to do something. I saw some people were able to expand the photo of one of the police officers who has on his cell phone, his background is like the Punisher logo. The Punisher is this, I think Marvel comic books character who's who's very popular among police for some reason, which actually doesn't really make sense because he's like a right-wing kind of militia type guy.
Oh, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense that the police officers don't like a right-wing militia type. I mean, this is the argument the left has been making for a really long time, that there's this unholy alliance between some of the right-wing fascist elements in our government and right-wing fascists outside of our government, that it's one thing.
You're right. He's a take matters into my own hands character, not relying on the structures of society to get the job done. Only I can get the job done. So for police to fetishize that is a little odd. But then, if that's your thing, then be that guy. Be the hero. Go do what the structure's not letting you do. And he's sitting back with all the rest.
Because it's all about vibes. I mean, this is the thing.
It's all about vibes.
There's so much performative machismo.
Yeah.
And when I think sometimes the left and liberals criticize that, it comes off as criticizing the idea of being a hero. But what it really is this idea that it's all this faux performativity that does nothing except for gin up police budgets, cause men largely who feel maybe perhaps powerless in society to join the police force, to do domestic violence. There's this, significant correlation between police officers and domestic violence. To take out their rage, to be given the authority, to take out their rage and their discontent with society, which should be processed through much healthier avenues, in these destructive ways.